I just got back from a Matchbox collection. Let me take off my bug eye sunglasses. I just got back from meeting a fellow with a Matchbox collection. I was very hopeful it'd be nice. Turns out, not so great, but some of the boxes were nice. All of the models were pretty much used, except for just a couple. And there were a couple of neat accessory items, so it was okay. And I could never go look at a collection without bringing it home, so I ended up buying it. I paid too much, but you know, what are you going to do? I was over a barrel. I had to buy it. You know me, I gotta buy everything. Actually, I just think I'm addicted to buying things. And so, you know, whenever somebody puts something in front of me, I gotta buy it. So I brought it home, and now I'm gonna share it with you. So stay tuned for today's episode of Hey everybody, alright, here we are sitting down at the table. A little unusual for today's exploration of this recent Matchbox collection I received. But I'm here at my table downstairs, and forget about that stuff over there that some Matchbox already had. But what I got in this collection was a couple of boxes. This is one of them here. It's an old shoe box. Look at that Air Step Fantasy. I think they've been in there for a while. Brown Shoe Company. There was another old shoe box too from the 50s. And anyway, so it was pretty exciting when I first got there to see this collection because there were a lot of nice boxes. The boxes are really nice. Look at that for the most part. Well, okay, it's got a thing torn out of the side, but look how pretty that picture is on the front there. So we've got the series boxes here. Matchbox, there's the 53 Mercedes, nice and clean. Got a 24. Now there's some torn bits on some of these boxes like this one here. This is from a major pack. And I'm actually going to go over to the frame store today, I think, and see if I can't find some better tape than cellophane tape to tape the flaps back into boxes that are torn. Look at this. I was pretty excited about getting this box. This is a hard box to get. Really nice. Here we go with the number 4. Real nice box. And here's the 15, the prime mover. And of course you need the trailer to go with that, but I didn't get a trailer box from that series. I got one from another series. Here's the 28 Matchbox. This is actually a later box. This is what, the D box. These are C boxes. Is that correct? Let's see. A is Moco Script. B is Moco Lesney. C is A Lesney. D is Matchbox series in an arc. And D is Matchbox series like that. And then the no, maybe that is E. Wait a second, did I get it? So we have A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E. All right, E box, that's right, E box, and then the F box comes after E, and I got one of those over here. That's what it looks like. So there's F, there's E, D, C, B, and of course A I don't have any of because those are the rare script Moco boxes. So here's all the E's, put that aside, and here's some C boxes. A Lesney, this one's nice for the Thunderbird, good shape, and here's the boat and trailer. Now here's kind of a rough one here, very rough, but it does have the flap still. Now, like I say, I'm going to go see if I can find myself some decent tape to repair box flaps with, because the cellophane tape is just not getting it done for me. And there is A Lesney. And then on the B boxes, got some Mocos. Some of them are very nice. Look at that. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. And look at that. This one's terrible. Look at that. There's nothing much left of that box at all. I might have a couple of flaps over here like that we could tape on. And then let's see, we've got the Albion Chieftain. This is Portland Cement. Another military one missing the flap. Another one missing the flap. Another one missing the flap. So at first the boxes are pretty good, and then the older ones got a little rougher. Now, the sad part about this, oh wait a minute, there was 3 of the newer cars too. That guy there, what's that, the Fiat 1500, the Ford Corsair, and the Matchbox Lincoln. Now that is basically the box collection. So now let's take a look at the cars that came with the collection, and that's really where the disappointment was. All right, scooting in the loose cars. Looks like we're gonna have to make some room here. These over here. Oops, that's a little high. Put that up there. All right, let's scoot this stuff out of the way. And here was the sad part of the collection, the cars that were in the boxes. Oh my goodness. Now a few of them I rated as like excellent. Let's see if we can get the good focus on this. I think we have to move over to the showroom. All right, let's move over to the showroom, the photo box. All right, let's get started with this now. Here we are with some of the nice, better models from the collection. This one I think I rate this as near mint. It's very light wear. You really have to look in the magnifying. And sometimes all the magnification I use, I get a little carried away. But that helps for everybody to be happy when they get the cars because I see so much detail. Anyway, I might call this one near mint. I think most of this stuff was like in the excellent category, the better models. This one's real nice. This is one of my favorite. This is what the 10-ton pressure refueler, number 73. Not an easy one to get a hold of. You certainly, of course, you can always go online and buy just about anything, but if you're just out in public and you're looking at Matchbox collections, you're rarely going to see that 10-ton pressure refueler. There's a couple more of the military set. Not too bad, really, but not real popular in these conditions. Although if I put them in my antique mall space, they sell pretty well down there. You know, local people just looking to get a few things locally. Here's a nice Weather Hill hydraulic excavator, I believe number 24. Is that correct? Yes. Should have those memorized by now, but you know, without taking tests, you're probably never going to memorize. Here is the fire engine. That's number 9, right? Merriweather fire engine, and it's got the ladder here around here somewhere. The ladder is here somewhere with the ladder. Now this one was one of the better models from the collection. It's got a little wear on it. Not bad though. Not bad. In mint condition, these things are awfully hard to get. So it's always nice to get a Harley Davidson in any condition. And there's some more militaries that aren't too bad. Yeah, actually, they look a little better than I thought the other day, but always disappointing when you wish to get mint cars. Now these are from this recent collection I bought locally, not the one that I got all the mint Matchbox. That's the, number 6? Yeah, I love that one. That one's a great popular model. And here's the Jaguar, number 28. Is that right? 28? Yep, 28. All right, good. And the Rolls-Royce number, the Rolls-Royce is number 38? No, 44. All right, see, I'm gotta take some tests. 52? Let's see. No, gosh darn it, 19. All right, Aston Martin race car, DB5. Missing the driver. Not bad shape, but not very good shape. But that one came with a great box. So let's quickly get through the rest of these. They're kind of beat up a little bit. Some of them actually look all right. Matchbox tend to look fine, even if they're not in the greatest shape. If you put a bunch of them together, especially with the older ones, and you throw in some with the chips, it gives it that aged kind of patina look to the collection. And certainly there's some older ones here. This one needs some new treads. Of course, the treads are more expensive than the value of this unit, so it's kind of a pain. But it is the gray wheel model, so that's cool. And then here's this one's always missing the barrel. It's almost always broken off. And look at this. This was sad. Look how sad that little, because this is one of the most beautiful Matchbox ever made. It's a little sad in that condition. And here's the Jeep with the green interior, which is always hard to get. A little dusty, dirty inside. And look at the worst one of all. Look at this. The Jaguar. Boy, how do you get all that paint off of there like that? You have to work at that. Maybe take a carving knife. And look at that poor little guy. Ooh, got the windshield broke off. Got the windshield broke off. And, of course, last but not least, here's the prime mover and trailer, which is always, excuse me, a nice set to have in any condition. Now, this wasn't all that was in the collection. Let's take a look at some of the other things. So what made this collection worthwhile is that it had several of the accessory items with it, like the home store. Very nice. Home store. That's always popular. And here's a major pack. Missing the flap, but I think we have the flap over there, so hopefully get out there and get some tape today. Not too bad, little dinkum dumper. I think that's what they call this, right? Dinkum dumper? Yep, dinkum dumper. Looks like the tires got in the dirt a little bit, but it's got the metal wheels. It's real nice. One Matchbox model of yesteryear's Ashram lamps. This one is not super popular, and I've got like a dozen of these in my collection somewhere. This is something I couldn't walk away from, of course, the accessory pumps. I believe I have extra gas stations. I might even have a gas station in a box sitting here next to me. SO good on one side, damaged on the other, that's fine. And then the pumps are in pretty decent little shape. So that's always good to have those extra. And there was one military set missing flaps on both ends. Not much good there. Here's the little military set. There she is. And she comes with a tank, but of course the treads are always busted off. And oh, there was another military vehicle. Look at that. The water cooler truck. All right, that's cool. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. There's more. There's the Thunderbird. This one was silver wheels, dark blue base. Oh, very cool. And I always like this one, the DUKU. DUKW. DUKW, number 55. Very cool. Very, very cool. Put that back there. Oh, and I love this guy, except he's coming apart. Right there, and he needs treads, which are probably more valuable than the unit as it sits. But there she is. I guess he could lock her together, maybe hot glue it or something. I love that little model. She's a real cutie pie. Oh, and look at the house. Got the house. Yeah, or the garage, I should say. Missing flaps on that guy. So look at all this stuff. You know, it's not so bad once you look at it. Look at this. Here's a tractor with brown treads, which seems really odd. I don't know why they're brown. They are dried out, but they are there. I think maybe somebody had taken this off before, and I realized after looking at this that if you wanted to replace treads, what you'd have to do is you'd have to take the head off of this, smooth the head off on this side, so that you could pull this out slightly, or pull the pin out actually. That's what you would do. You'd pull the pin out, push it out through this side. Oh, I think maybe that's what's happened to this one already. Pretty sure this is going to come out. I don't have a tool right here, but pull this out, then put some green treads on there, and then we'd be good to go. Nice little tractor. And let's see, there's this device here, which goes with what? Does it go with the garage? Or does it go with the home store? It goes with something. It's for joining two together. I thought it was, I've forgotten what that does exactly, but we'll figure that out again. It joins two of something together. Is that? I don't know. All right. And, oh, my little favorite guy here. What is that, like number 10 or something? The mechanical horse and trailer. This one has got the things worn off of there, but still cute. Yeah, cute little guy. Oh, and the air compressor truck. Love that one. What is that? That's number 28. 28. Oh, and there was a set of road signs. A set of road signs, baby. Beep, beep. There's like, I can't remember how many comes in a set, maybe 10. I think there's 8 or 9 in this set. No box. But there they are, road signs. Can you see them? Very cool. Variety of different road signs. And last but not least, this Matchbox collection came with this James Bond Special Agent 007. Better get a picture of that while we're at it. Very nice. And at first he didn't bring this down to show me. He said, oh, I thought you were just looking for Matchbox. I said, no, I got to have that James Bond. It looks so cool. In the original box, look at that. Oh, yeah. All right, James Bond 007. Look at that, and all the parts work. It's got this beautiful base. Going to put that on display. Some sort of a flyer inside. Look at that, look at that. Now all it works, let's see. You can push the guy out, watch it, watch it. Here it comes. Oh, no, that's the front. That's the front. The battering rams. I think this is the lid. Ah, he didn't fly out. Doggone it. Oh, he's all crunched down in there. Got to be real careful pushing on there. Got to always push that seat down first. All right, come on. Come on out. All right, we're going to do this right. Because this can break inside. You don't want this to break inside. So push that down first. And then push down on the lid. Okay, we're ready to eject. You ready? I don't have slow motion or anything, so you probably won't be able to see this. Better tilt it this way so it doesn't fly away. Out he goes. James Bond. No, that's the bad guy. Can you see him? Yeah, he's bad. All right, check it out. Gold. Golden Bond car. Yeah, you got to make sure you don't get this cracked plastic inside. I had one of these. It was cracked, and you got the guard on the back there. It's pretty cool. Get that back in focus. James Bond 007 DB5, Austin Martin. And that is the collection. Now, some people have questions for me, and the first question is, how much do I pay for a collection like that? How much do I pay for a collection like that? Well, my answer to that question is whatever the seller's willing to take, really. I prefer them to tell me what they want, and then we can negotiate from there. But if you're looking at a collection, what you want to think about is how much money do you want to have tied up? If you're going to keep everything for yourself, you can just put all the stuff in your collection. The real question is, how much are you willing to tie up to add these items to your collection? Now, of course, none of these items are in mint condition, so I wouldn't recommend tying up a whole lot of money in them. But then, so you just have, it's kind of a balance between what the seller is willing to take and how much you're willing to put into your collection. Now, you're never going to sell them for the most part. If that's the case, if you're never going to sell them, then you don't want to tie up a ton of money in them, but you do want to get them. So some balance between you and the seller there. Number two, if you're planning to resell. Now the big secret when you're reselling cars is what you want to do is you want to figure out how, what is your market? Do you just going to put them on eBay and let them float and see what happens? Or do you have customers who will buy them like I do? So the big question for me is like, what models will sell? Because for instance, this ashram, I've got like 12 of these, and this one's not even in great shape. So I don't have anybody to buy this, so obviously I can't pay anything for it, really. I mean, I gotta, someday I may sell it, I don't know, but chances are not. And some other items, anything with bad treads doesn't really sell. Anything that's broken doesn't really sell, so you can't really pay much for that. So you gotta look at the good stuff, like the Aston Martin. What can you get for that? It looks like about $250 on eBay for this. $250, so probably be comfortable in the $175 range for a car like that if you're buying it from someone and reselling it for $250. Here's this is a good item. This is about a $100 item. So as you look around the collection, you go like, well, this is worth like, let's say this is worth probably more like $75. This is like $40. This is like $40. So right away you're up to, quickly up to about 150. And over in the box cars, most of those cars are worth at least $20 a piece. So, but next thing you know, you're up to about $500. And, typically you'll buy the collection, and then when you get it, at first, when you first buy it, you'll think, oh man, I paid too much. But then over time, as long as you give it a couple of months, things will work out fine. I don't know if that answers any of the questions that you have, but I thought I'd give a shot at it and see if I could, on the spur of the moment, just give you a little enlightenment on buying collections. So that is all for now, and thanks for watching my video. Please come back and watch more videos, and remember to subscribe. And I'd have a big old subscribe button over here in this corner if I knew how to do it, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to say, subscribe, please, and give me a thumbs up, 2 of them if you can. The more thumbs, the better. And that will be all for today. Thank you, folks. Bye now. Dave Williamson driving down the road. Wow. Hey everybody, Dave Williamson driving down the road, and I just wanted to let you know I'm coming back from buying a little Matchbox collection. It wasn't very good. It was kind of disappointing, but hey, what the hell. What about that view, huh? What about that view? You can't see anything, but you will be able to see something when we get over to the bridge. Hey everybody, Dave Williamson, Toy Car Collector here with a sunburn, I think. I've been outside too much. The weather's really gotten nice here in Portland, Oregon, and I've been outside back there working in the yard. I love my grass. I love the lawn. My wife loves the flowers and the garden, and I love the lawn. So we work pretty well together on that. But I went out today to buy a Matchbox collection, and it turned out to be, no.